The events in this program are inspired by a true story. Names, dates, and details have been changed. Viewer discretion is advised. On this episode of Bizarre Murders, Texas is a wild place full of colorful personalities and deadly critters lurking around every dark corner. And when a heinous crime is committed,
well, murdering people ain't that hard.
It's up to a former Texas Ranger to uncover the truth.
Hey, Betty, wake up.
Because things aren't always as they seem.
Oh my God, she's not breathing.
In the Lone Star State. It's the summer of 1977, and the town of Lubbock, in the great state of Texas, is one hot place. Former rodeo star Dirk now runs a successful barbershop. Business is good, and he wants to hire a shampoo girl to help out. Betty is a former beauty queen with dreams of making it in Hollywood, but she ran out of money crossing the country.
Are you looking for some help?
Certainly am, darling.
And finds herself stuck in small-town Texas. Betty had the job before she even said hello. And it didn't take long before Dirk and Betty fell for each other.
You ever thought about settling down one day, Betty?
Maybe.
Maybe, eh? How do you like living in Lubbock? Is it your kind of town?
I like it a lot, especially the people.
And when Dirk finally pops the question, Betty says, I do. Before long, the newlyweds settle into married life like a regular Dick and Jane.
Say, Dirk, I'm feeling a little crummy. I gotta go home and rest.
Y'all talk it out today, Betty? All right, I reckon you just go home and take the day to resting.
The next day, Betty remains at home while Dirk works his daily shift at the barbershop.
You just said it ain't even my horse. I don't even know what's going down.
Come on, man.
Hey, Betty girl, we're home. All right, bring that on the table. Let's do this.
Longhorns better win tonight or I'm in deep on a couple of bets.
Hey, Betty. Betty, you up? All right, let me go check on the old ball and chain, all right?
All right, all right.
Hey, Betty. Hey, Betty, wake up. Dwayne, oh my God, she's not breathing.
Those look like snake bites there, Dirk.
Right, we gotta call an ambulance. Heck, we get an ambulance.
Detective Harris, a former Texas Ranger, is called to the house because the circumstances surrounding Betty's death are suspicious.
So you boys want to tell me what happened?
Well, found this around back. Betty picks up the trash. Maybe it bit her.
Well, that there is a Diamondback. Those are killers.
Maybe that's what got poor old Betty.
Maybe. Maybe.
Throughout my career, I've seen more murder victims than I can shake a Texas stick at. Poor old Betty's death looks accidental, all right. The snake bites that Dirk found could very well be the cause of death. But as Texans like to say, just because a chicken has wings don't mean it can fly. And until the coroner orders an autopsy, we'll just have to wait and see.
The next day, the autopsy report lands on Detective Harris's desk. The coroner finds that Betty's system at the time of death contained large amounts of proteolytic enzymes, more commonly known as rattlesnake venom. And the series of bite marks are identified on her feet and ankles, indicating that she'd been bitten repeatedly by a snake.
Western diamondback rattlesnakes, also known as Texas diamondbacks, are real nasty pieces of work. I've seen them in the flesh, and you do not want to mess with those suckers. Their venom can cause severe paralysis before shutting the cardiovascular system down. They're responsible for the most amount of snakebite fatalities in the US of A.
Searching for new leads, Detective Harris learns that Dirk and Betty's neighbor Jane saw Betty the day she died.
And what time was that at?
It was around 4. She was by the back door. She was taking out the garbage and she was sweeping up.
Dirk was still at the barbershop at 4 p.m. that day, so that gives him an alibi. And the fact that the rattlesnake skin was found at the back door where Betty's neighbor saw her sweeping up makes a logical connection, indicating that's where she was bitten by the snake.
Detective Harris returns to Dirk and Betty's home to determine whether her rattlesnake bites were accidental or something more ominous was going on. The detective discovered an unsent letter written by Betty to her sister on the day before she died. In the letter, she writes about feeling ill, but her life here is great with Dirk, and she can't wait for her sister to come visit.
Betty's death is ruled accidental, and for the investigating cops, it's pretty much case closed and time to crack a cold one. That's beer, y'all.
But Detective Harris has a hunch. There's something hinky about Betty's death, and he continues digging. He learns Dirk was married before, and his first wife also died prematurely.
2 dead wives. Well, that's unfortunate. You want to guess how the first one died? Spider bite. So we've got one dead wife from a spider bite and the other from a snake bite. I mean, if Dirk was a zoologist or something, maybe. But a barber? I don't know. It seems a little weird, no? And by no, I mean yes.
4 years earlier, Dirk came home from the good old San Antonio Rodeo Classic to discover his then-wife Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Lying motionless on the bed.
My lord.
The coroner's report concludes that Annabelle's death is accidental, caused by a southern black widow spider bite. Turns out that Dirk cashed in his first wife's $20,000 life insurance policy and bought himself a Corvette.
Got something for you there.
Thank you. Hopefully this will help me get over the loss.
What the insurance company investigating Annabelle's death didn't know was that 2 weeks before her death, she was badly injured in a car accident. But despite the suspicious evidence, the car accident was ruled accidental and never investigated by authorities.
Where will that be?
With the information on Dirk's previous wife, Detective Harris is convinced that Betty's death was no accident.
All right, then.
I know times have changed, but come on, guys. A bloody hammer in the car, Annabella bashed up real bad, but Dirk looking perfectly fine, even though he claimed he threw himself clear from the moving vehicle. Obviously, the local authorities should have pursued a thorough investigation. Sloppy police work makes Steve an angry cowboy. So now it's a murder case. And rodeo man Dirk, well, y'all, he's the #1 suspect.
While Dirk cuts hair at the barbershop, Detective Harris secretly bugs Dirk's home, hoping to find any evidence that can break the case wide open.
This is where the real magic happens, baby. Is that the best line you got there, Dirk? You have to do better than that, boy.
Police discover that Dirk is a connoisseur of the oldest profession in the world, with a regular stream of prostitutes visiting him at his home. Armed with the evidence of the prostitutes, police now have enough to bring Dirk in on solicitation charges.
So you like the ladies?
Sure, I guess you could say that.
This is where the real magic happens, baby.
With Dirk in the hot seat, Detective Harris uses the opportunity to question him about the deaths of his 2 ex-wives.
First a spider bite, then a snake bite. And that seems like one of those coincidences, don't you think?
Well, no, not really. I mean, there's rattlers all over this place. As a matter of fact, I think we're both pretty lucky that we ain't been bit and killed by one of these snakes already.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's so.
Dirk plays the innocent dumb guy angle to a T. The investigators know he's hiding something and want to nab this guy real bad for murdering Betty. But right now, they need some hard evidence or it's back to haircuts, football, and hookers for Dirk.
Harris brings Jane, the neighbor who was the last person to see Betty alive, back in for another round of questioning.
I don't know why you brought me down here again. I told you everything you needed to know last time.
Is that so? Tell me something, Jane. Why do I get the feeling you ain't giving me the whole picture?
Okay, I'll tell you the truth. Dirk paid me to lie. I really don't know where Betty was the day she died. I don't. I'm sorry.
Now we're cooking with gas. This is the first break in the case and the first piece of evidence against Dirk, but it's still circumstantial. What Harris needs is something conclusive that ties Dirk to Betty's death.
When Harris re-examines Betty's letter to her sister, this time with a focus on her handwriting,
It's all over the place.
he concludes that she was most likely under the influence of alcohol when she wrote it.
So Dirk's alibi is falling apart by the second. We got the corrupted neighbor who offered an alibi for money. Betty's very intoxicated handwriting. I consider both of these discoveries as evidence of a cover-up. The widowed rodeo star who impatiently waits to collect his insurance payout is looking more and more guilty.
Detective Harris meets with the insurance agent who issued the life insurance policy on Betty, hoping to dig something up on Dirk.
This is the policy I issued. He took out Betty's policy within a week of their wedding.
Really? Well, that seems quick.
You can say that.
M is for wrong, motive, which has clearly been uncovered here. Now, that's not to say that all people who take out life insurance for their partners have the motive to murder them. But when you've got a situation with back-to-back policies, both paying out with freak accidents like spider bites and snake bites, then you have got to start connecting the dots.
Meet Maurice.
You know, I was out there at the Robinsons' ranch the other day, looking for critters.
He works in roadkill and pest removal, and is a regular customer at Dirk's Barbershop.
You know, I caught this spider the other day, and I took it home. I looked it up in my old encyclopedia, and I think I found a brand new spider. Do you think something like that they would name after me? Maurice the Spider.
Maurice is a heavy drinker and spends most nights at the Dun Inn.
Murdering people ain't that hard. No, sirree. My buddy's wife never even saw it coming. It was perfect. Perfect.
Honestly, this Maurice is a real piece of work. Who gets drunk, starts telling a bunch of strangers about how you helped kill somebody? The perfect murder, no less. Here's a pro tip. It ain't perfect if you tell people about it. There's just no shortage of cold-blooded dummies out there. It never ceases to amaze me.
An anonymous caller from the Dun Inn contacts the police and tells them about Maurice's story.
So what can you tell me about the death of Dirk's wife, Betty?
I really don't know what you're talking about, Detective. I'm telling the truth. You gotta trust me.
Do you know how much time you're gonna get if you're lying to me? Hard time. And I got friends who can make it happen. Let's try this again, Maurice.
I just wanted to help.
Maurice eventually buckles under the pressure and tells the police that he helped Dirk move his dead wife's body to the bedroom, but that he had nothing to do with the poisoning part.
Did someone say poisoning? Well, that's interesting. I thought Betty died from a rattlesnake bite. I don't know. Maybe it's all my years at the FBI talking, but this cowboy Dirk, he's looking guilty as sin. Now they gotta uncover something that'll back Maurice's story up.
Betty's body is exhumed, and a second autopsy is ordered. The authorities want to see if there were any other foreign toxins in her system, other than the venom produced by the Texas Diamondback.
Alkyl, dimethyl, benzyl, ammonium chloride, sodium nitrate, rubbing alcohol, blue dye. Blue dye?
Okay, let me think for a second. Where would you find a liquid substance that combined a very strong disinfectant that also included a large quantity of rubbing alcohol and blue dye? Come to think of it, I was at the Barber just last week, and I think I saw something that just might fit the bill.
Armed with the results of the second autopsy, the insurance policy, the letter, the next-door neighbor recanting her story, and the statements from Maurice, Detective Harris arrests Dirk for the murder of his wife, Betty. At Dirk's trial, Maurice reveals he did more than just help move the body, and tells the court exactly how Betty died.
So when I go to try and grab this dead possum, look out! This big, ugly Diamondback was staring right at me. I figured it wasn't worth it. Called it a day and cracked a cold one.
Maurice has plenty of experience with critters, such as rattlesnakes, and it gives Dirk the idea of how he's going to execute the crime.
Yeah, there's a lot of those rattlers around here, aren't there? Say, you wouldn't know where I could buy one of those, would you?
Buy one?
Yeah, like some people, they want to put it in a zoo or something like that, you know?
Oh, well, that's easy. I can get you one of those down by the highway any day.
All right.
You gotta be kidding me. In all my years at the FBI, I have never come across a rattlesnake as a murder weapon. Full marks for originality here, that's for sure. But in terms of an intelligent approach, not so much.
Say, Dirk, I'm feeling a little crummy. I gotta go home and rest.
Y'all tuck it out today, Betty? All right, I reckon you just go home and take the day to rest then.
When Betty falls ill at work, Dirk decides today is the day to put his plan into action.
Maurice, it's Dirk. It's going down tonight. Betty, I brung you a doctor. Feeling all right? This is Dr. Moore, Dr. Moore.
Howdy, ma'am. How you feeling there? Oh, geez, heard you been laid up?
That's right.
Well, you know what this doctor prescribes? Bourbon. This'll fix you right up.
You right?
Here you go. Yeah. Tilt her back now. Yeah. There, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Have some more. That's the doctor's prescription.
It's fixing you. Yeah. You're feeling it work. Come on now. Yeah, that's right. There you go. Yeah. Oh, that sucker's angry, man. Oh, boy.
All right, at least some of that for Daddy, all right? All right, take her feet.
Oh, boy. How come it ain't bitter yet? I think it better.
I think you're right.
So you get her drunk, tie her up in a chair, and put her feet in a box with a rattlesnake. Okay then, points for imagination, I guess. But the million-dollar question is then, why bother using the Hericide as a poison if you've already got a deadly rattlesnake that's actually bit her multiple times?
6 hours after being bitten by the rattler, Betty is still alive. For now.
Can't stand it. It's taking too long. I'm gonna go down to the barbershop and I'm gonna get us something that's gonna move this along. You just wait here, all right? All right. Hey, Mo, what happened to the snake?
Oh, I'll find that for you by the time you get back.
Yeah, you better, because we're gonna need that skin for evidence.
Dirk's way of speeding up Betty's slow death is to feed her the Hericide he uses at the barbershop.
Worked real well last time.
She's gonna die anyway.
You're not soon enough. You should go get that snake skin, put it around back.
All right.
What we have here is a guy who is panicking because he's impatient. His nerves can't handle the weight, so he reverts to an MO that he's probably used before. The toxic disinfectant that he uses every day at work. I'll bet your bottom dollar that his first wife's spider bite had a little Hericide in it as well.
For his part in the crime, Maurice is sentenced to 15 years behind bars. Dirk is found guilty in the murder of his wife Betty and is sentenced to death.
Here's a little dose of irony, Texas style. If rodeo man Dirk wasn't so impatient, he probably would have gotten away with murdering his wife Betty. The rattlesnake bites would have eventually proved fatal, and since those nasty suckers are so common in Texas, nobody would have questioned the death. I guess the moral of the story is, Patience is a virtue.